This is WreckFest! Hey, what's going on everyone? It's Fancy Sam here, another WreckFest video for you today. And in the last episode we did have a lot of online races, so today's episode will be featuring a lot of offline career mode in today's episode. As we have for you the very first race of today's episode, we like to make sure we get very far into the lead as possibly we can, and there we go, we jump straight into third place on this race, making sure we have as little as possible problems as we can. But there we go, we get hit straight away, but that does not make any impact into this race. We keep hold of that third place, but that's not a great hit there. We get T-boned and we go flying off onto the side of the track, and we lose a few positions as we go down into 11th, 10th place. So we'll be fighting back into this race to make sure we can climb once again into what we started off in, which was third place. And here we go, trying to make sure we get into the corner that we did have problems on the first lap. See what's going to go on here. As we do get hit onto the side, we get a little spin, so we're now facing the wrong way, try to recover, but once again we had a little bit of damage there, so we go straight back into the wall, get another little hit, multiple hits, we're spinning all over the place, we don't know what's going on here, trying to recover here, but it doesn't really help because it means I go straight into that tree, which is not going to help things. So we're going to see if we can able to push back once again into this race.
So yeah, we now have it all to do really in this race if we want to get anywhere in this little bit of career mode in this mini series of 6 races we've got in today's episode. But we have now moved up into 16th place, just coming onto the final lap of the race. We go onto the first corner where we seem to have most of the problems during this race, but we're actually causing their own problems with just grazing the wall there. And as I think you might have just seen there was a few races that have just gone off onto the side of the track, so now we're in the middle of things in 12th, trying to work our way back up as far as we can in this race. Goes around into the corner, we can see a few drivers just ahead of us. Can we make any further impact into this race, trying to not go too wide on the track? Head straight up on the straight, I think this is just around the final turn, and there we go, we've got to get a bit lucky there as 2 drivers go off onto, I believe it was a rock on the side of the track, and we head into, there we go, there is the final straight, there we go, and it looks like we're going to be finishing 9th in the first race of this episode, so not a bad way to end the race in a reasonable 9th place. So now we move on to the second race of the episode, which is Palladin Raceway. It's another short circuit track. I believe this one was in the online races that we did have in the last episode. Straight away, as you saw in the last race, I like to get as far into the lead as I possibly can, but I did not see that little panel there, which I drive straight into, so it's not great awareness from me to begin with in this race, and cause myself a little bit of unnecessary damage. Though we try to move straight up into the highest position as we can. With this little series, I was going with the Boomer. It was a car I actually bought specifically for this this series, but there we go, you can see from the race I've overshot the corner, and we do make a mistake as there we go, we're now in 18th, so not a great start to the first lap of the race. So you just saw a little target come up there, so I've got to spin out 3 drivers, so that is what I'm really going to be focusing on in this race. So hopefully I will be able to set that target, so this time we avoid that panel, but we go straight into the other one, so not really great there, and we move down even further, causing more damage to the car. There we go, into second lap of the race, still in 17th place, and here we go onto the final lap. We try to make sure we do avoid both panels that we did crash into, and yeah, there was a little bit of over braking to make sure to not hit both panels, and this time we don't, but there we go. And there we go, we just finished that target. We managed to spin up 3 cars
just managing to do it just at the end of the race there, coming into the final corner, sitting in 11th place. So once again, not a bad race, but could do better. Now we head into the midway point of the little mini series. We go to Furwood Mode Centre main circuit, so hopefully we can do a little bit better than we have done in the last two races of 9th and 11th. So let's see how we do in this race, see if we do what we do normally, try to head near the front of the pack as quickly as we can. This time we do make it stick, and there we go, we're straight into 3rd place. We're challenging for the lead. We get a nice little turn here, but not quite enough to secure 2nd yet. But there we go, we make sure we get that 2nd out in many ways as we can, and there we go, now moving, we're batting for 1st, but it takes us out as well, so it's not great. We have to reset, and there we go, we drop a couple positions into 4th place. If we hadn't able to stick that landing, we would have been away, and here we go. Into this corner, we tried to take out another driver, but it looks like it's going to take us out, but it doesn't, so we move up into 2nd, but then drop a couple of places as we have a little bit of late braking there, and now we back into 3rd. So yeah, we're just literally making sure we get at least a top 3 finish in this race. It would be a good finish if we are able to keep hold of 3rd place, see if we can actually fight for 2nd, but it looks like both front 2 drivers are getting away here. Looks like we're getting, yeah, there we go, there is the finish, and we do get 3rd place, so not a bad finish, and hopefully we can do better in the next race. And now we move on to the 4th race of the episode. We're at Sporadic Raceway main circuit. So like I was saying earlier, with the boom, it wasn't really a car I really wanted to buy, but I was literally just doing it for this series. It's not like a car it really suits to my driving style, but here we go, straight into the start of the race. We try and climb as far as we can, but we get hit straight to a tower, and it actually says we're going the wrong way, so it's very odd that WreckFest has actually done this to me. So now we're actually sitting right at the back last, but we fight our way, try and get through the crowd of cars, moving our way into 17th, and there is a hit onto the tyre wall there. Not going to be helping us if we want to be quickly making our way through the cars and trying to keep hold of this very nice corner here, trying to get through all the cars that are in the way. We're up into 16th now, so not too bad from the dodgy start. We're a little bit aggressive there. A couple cars in the way, and now we're at the halfway point. We're in the middle of the pack, and there we go, into this corner again, into the where we hit the tyre wall, and we hit the next tyre wall. So it's a little bit of a common theme here. We like to hit that tyre wall into this corner, and here we go, straight into the next corner here, trying to keep hold of the track into 10th place. Can we work anywhere further into this race? A little bit late braking, we're trying to go for a little bit of a tank out there, but it looks like the car does it himself, and we move up a couple of positions, and here we go. I'm not quite sure what this car is doing here. Jumper Jack is looked like he's trying to take us out, and I'm trying to get a bit of revenge here, trying to stop him from taking us out and try and take that car out instead, but it looks like it's not going to happen. We try and get away, but he's not going to give up. This car is not going to stop, and there we go. It looks like it just takes a little bit of a nick, and yeah, we go down a couple of positions into 9th now. See if we can get anything, and we're on the final straight now. See if we can get past this yellow car here. We try and take him up before the line, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen, and there we go, we finish again in 9th place. Now we move on to the penultimate race of the episode. We are at Pine Hills Raceway. So at the moment, as you've seen from the previous races, we've had a mixed bag of results. A couple of 9th places, 11th and a 3rd place to begin with. And now we see what happens in today's race. We move straight up into the lead, but we don't realise that corner is actually a hairpin, so we have to reset. But luckily, as we're resetting, we're ghosting through all the other cars that do exactly the same thing, and we get lucky and we're actually jumping straight into the 3rd place. But we get a little bit caught off here. We somehow manage to stick to the wall, and we lose quite a lot of the decisions we gained from the very first corner. We dropped down into 16th place, so not very good, and tried to get around here, forgot, and once again that corner is, there is a hairpin, and a few other drivers are making exactly the same mistake, so we're trying to make sure we avoid them, and we're once again into the middle of the pack in 12th place. And here we go, we just managed to avoid a very close shave there. We're going just before the final lap. There we go, just the final lap now, into 6th place, so not bad at all now. Remember the hairpin this time, and we managed to make it stick, and now we're trying to make sure we get up towards the higher end of positions, and we've managed to stick into 4th place, and there we go, coming up to the very end of the race, and we do manage to keep it. We managed to get a very fine 4th place finish. And now the very final race of today's episode, we're back at Palladin Raceway, a slightly different version of the circuit we had earlier. And here we go, starting once again in 13th place, see how we do fare off in this race. So we get an okay start in this one, I believe. We go into the first turn, no need to get any barriers in the way or anything like that. We try to push our way through as hard as we can, going onto the grass a little bit, get pushed onto the other side of the grass, but we managed to keep onto the track and up into 5th place. And now we move a couple of positions into 3rd now, trying to see if we can actually manage to get a 1st place in this race, see if we can finish up highly as we can, under break even into that corner, and did not have a very good ending, and get a little bit of regression here, and we take one guy out. We're hopping over the little ledges and grass on there, and we try to make sure we keep at least 5th place, get nudged into that position as well, and a few little bit of recklessness, cars flying absolutely everywhere, trying to make sure we keep on the track. We seem to be loving the grass on this track, and trying to make sure we get into a good enough position for the final corner, which is right here, but once again we forget to brake, which seems to be my problem on this track. And there we go, we're now into the final lap of the race. See if we do make the same mistake, because we're very close to the final corner. It's not this one, but it's the one coming up here. Do we remember to brake for the final corner? Yes we do, but do we have enough to take over the car in front? Looks like the line is just ahead, but no, it's not going to be enough. We do finish 5th, so that will be it for today's episode. If you have enjoyed, make sure to hit the like and subscribe button, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.